stricter regulations to be enforced under second phase of MCO. 76 Malaysians safely repatriated from Italy. Good evening, I'm Jessica Lee. Welcome to News on 2. Now, Senior Minister Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri Yaakob said stricter regulations will be enforced during the second phase of the Movement Control Order, or MCO. The Senior Minister said this is to ensure measures taken to break the COVID-19 chain of infection achieves the desired goals. Elaborating further on the matter, Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri said under the ongoing Phase 1, the people are still allowed to move around with some restrictions.
Bergantung kepada kita sama ada kita MKN telah pun diminta untuk memperkenalkan atau mengeluarkan SOP yang baru yang mana peraturannya akan menjadi lebih tegas daripada peraturan yang ada hari ini. Jadi mungkin selepas ini banyak sekatan-sekatan akan dikenakan.
Datuk Seri Ismail Sabri noted that he would not announce the new measures yet, adding that the NSC would present the new standard operating procedure this coming Saturday. Yesterday, Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin announced that the MCO would be extended by 2 weeks until 14th of April. The first phase of the 14-day MCO is enforced from 18th to 31st of March. 76 Malaysians and 5 non-Malaysians were safely repatriated from Italy through another humanitarian assistance and disaster relief, or HADR, mission organised by the government to bring home Malaysians abroad following the COVID-19 pandemic. Now, according to the National Disaster Management Agency, or NADMA, the special Air Asia flight carrying them arrived at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, at 10:06 a.m. today. Also on board were 5 Ministry of Health, or MOH staff, 1 from the Foreign Ministry, 20 Air Asia crew members and 1 NADMA officer. All the 81 people were required to undergo health screenings at the Air Disaster Unit at KLIA before being transferred to the Monitoring Centre at the Higher Education Leadership Academy, or ACAPT, in Nilai for a 14-day quarantine. The decontamination operation was mounted by 263 members of various agencies, including the Fire and Rescue Department, MOH, NADMA, Air Asia Engineering, Airport Fire and Rescue Service, Royal Malaysia Police and KLIA Aviation Security. Italy has been under lockdown for the last 2 weeks as its COVID-19 positive cases and deaths have been increasing dramatically in the country. Yesterday, it was reported that more than 680 people have died from COVID-19 in Italy in the last 24 hours. Italy has seen more fatalities than any other country, with the latest figures showing that 7,503 people have died from the infection in barely a month. Now, 225 Malaysians safely arrived at the Kuala Lumpur International Airport, KLIA, from Bangladesh at 5:46 a.m. today. Deputy Foreign Minister Dato' Kamruddin Jaafar in a statement said they were brought home with a special Malaysia Airlines, or MAS, flight that was fully funded by the Malaysian Indian Congress, MIC. The 225 Malaysians consist of 130 students, 55 officers from Malaysia's field hospital in Cox's Bazar, 35 expatriates and 5 dependents of officers from the High Commission of Malaysia in Dhaka. All of them have been screened for COVID-19 and are now undergoing the 14 days of quarantine as instructed by the Health Ministry. Previously, Foreign Minister Datuk Seri Syamuddin Tun Hussein in a Facebook Live media conference on the 24th of March had expressed his gratitude to MIC President Tan Sri S.A. Vigneswaran. MIC had also funded 6 Air Asia flights to bring home 1,119 Malaysians who were stranded in Chennai and Tiruchirappalli in India. The Health Ministry today bears further bad news as 4 more deaths were reported due to the COVID-19 pandemic, bringing the tally to 23. Health Director General Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah in his daily briefing today also said 235 new cases were detected, bringing the total positive COVID-19 to 2,031 since the beginning of the outbreak. Commenting further, Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham said out of the 235 new cases, 60 were related to the Sri Petaling public gathering cluster.
16 kes yang telah pulih sehingga kini terdapat pertambahan 4 lagi kes kematian berkaitan dengan COVID-19. Pelaporan terbaru ini dan 2 pelaporan melalui siaran di laman Facebook Ketua Pengarah Kesihatan malam tadi dan pagi ini menjadikan jumlah kumulatif kes kematian COVID-19 di Malaysia adalah sebanyak 23 kes.
Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham also conveyed his condolences to the families of the deceased. The majority of COVID-19 cases recorded in the country have been from the Tabligh cluster. He said a total of 45 positives were being treated in the intensive care unit ICU, with 32 of them placed under ventilator support. On a brighter note, Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham said there were 16 recovered COVID-19 patients who were discharged today, bringing the total to 215 recoveries. Now, 80 Health Ministry personnel have tested positive for COVID-19 so far. However, according to Health Director General Datuk Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, the cause of infection was not due to the handling of positive cases at the ministry's facilities. This was confirmed in his Facebook posting today. The Health Director General called all Health Ministry personnel to always follow the Standard Operating Procedure or SOP when handling COVID-19 cases. Among them are to always wash their hands, maintain a safe social distance, and always wear the personal protective equipment or PPE. Meanwhile, 7 Istana Negara staff have tested positive for COVID-19. Istana Negara's comptroller of the royal household, Dato' Ahmad Fadil Shamsuddin, in a statement said the staff had been admitted to Hospital Kuala Lumpur HKL since the 24th of March. He said all 7 are currently in stable condition, while the Health Ministry is currently identifying their source of infection. Commenting further on the matter, Dato' Ahmad Fadil said to prevent further spread of the virus, all close contacts and Istana Negara staff have been instructed to undergo the screening test and also to quarantine themselves for 14 days beginning yesterday. Dato' Ahmad Fadil said the Yang di-Pertuan Agong Al-Sultan Abdullah Riyatuddin Al-Mustafa Bilal Shah and Raja Permaisuri Agong Tunku Aziza Amina Maimuna Iskandaria also took the screening test and were found negative for COVID-19. He said both the King and Queen, however, have started self-quarantine since yesterday for the next 14 days. The statement also said that the King was also advised not to proceed with the pre-cabinet meeting with Prime Minister Tan Sri Muhyiddin Yassin yesterday. The Istana Negara's comptroller added that the palace will continue with its cleaning and sanitation process following the Health Ministry guidelines. The Prime Minister's office in a statement today announced that all ministers and deputy ministers will contribute 2 months of their salaries towards the COVID-19 fund. The announcement follows a decision made during the cabinet meeting yesterday. According to the statement, this shows the commitment of the government to assist those who have been affected by the COVID-19 pandemic. The COVID-19 fund was launched on March 11th as a government effort to assist the people who have been affected by the deadly pandemic. As of yesterday, the total contribution collected, including government grants, stands at about 8.4 million ringgit. The contributions and donations made under the Prime Minister's Department Religious Affairs will be distributed to hardcore poor community and those affected by COVID-19 pandemic. As Minister Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri said, the ministry is coordinating the agencies under it to ensure the donations could be distributed systematically and equally for all eligible recipients. Datuk Sri Dr. Zulkifli said a committee was established led by the Wakaf, Zakat and Haji Department or Jauhar and Yayasan Wakaf Malaysia. They will be cooperating with state religious agencies to coordinate the donations in forms of cash money, foodstuff, respiratory aid devices and others that will be distributed under Musa'adah COVID-19 mission.
kedua, saya suka tekankan di sini, pemberian kita bukanlah terhad kepada orang-orang Islam sahaja, tetapi orang-orang yang memerlukannya juga, di mana ada juga peruntukan-peruntukan yang lain. Ketiga, kita juga mahu memperkasakan semua gerak kerja agensi-agensi agama ni di bawah kita dengan berkolaborasi kalau boleh dengan negeri-negeri sambil semuanya menyumbang bagaimana mereka memberi manfaat kepada ummah, kepada masyarakat, kepada mereka yang dalam keadaan kesukaran.
9% of the essential businesses that were allowed to open during the Movement Control Order, MCO, complied with the Pulau Pinang State Government's latest directive for these businesses to close at 8 p.m. yesterday. Now, the Penang Island City Council, or MBPP, together with the police and army personnel, conducted an operation to check on all business premises around Georgetown last night. Environmental Health Officer M. Bhavani said all essential services that are allowed to open during the MCO can only operate between 6 a.m. and 8 p.m. from the 25th of March onwards. She said many of these premises gave the excuse that they were not aware of the order to close by 8 p.m.
Berdasarkan pemeriksaan dan operasi tadi, kebanyakan alasan yang diberikan oleh peniaga-peniaga ini adalah tidak tahu ataupun ingatkan perniagaan yang berjalan selama 24 jam ini dibenarkan untuk beroperasi. Memandangkan kita telah membuat hebahan dari segi dalam media sosial dan juga telah menyerahkan notis secara serahan tangan kepada kesemua peniaga ini.
She added, of the 3,260 premises in Georgetown checked, 3,245 premises had complied by closing at 8 p.m. She said only 15 premises failed to comply, which means the percentage of compliance was at 99%. The business that had failed to comply were given a stern warning to close at 8 p.m. She noted that the City Council will also report the businesses to the police for further action. Limited business hours are enforced throughout the MCO period to ensure that people stay at home to prevent the spread of COVID-19. And that's it from us this evening in our top story. Stricter regulations to be enforced under the second phase of MCO. Join us for updates at noon at 12:30 tomorrow. I'm Jessica Lee. Stay safe, everybody.